Hey everyone, it's Justice for Comics. I wanted to highlight something I saw that was pretty interesting. Normally I do comic videos, comic hauls, stuff that's coming out for the week that I like. But I saw this article on Bleeding Cool and I thought I'd highlight it. I used to be a really big Mark Millar fan when he wrote for the Marvel Ultimate storyline. You know, had a darker take on the Marvel characters. I thought that was really good back in the day. I also enjoyed Wanted, if you guys remember that. That was a, I think it was Image. I think Top Cow did that. And that was popular. And nothing like the movie. I know they came out with a movie supposedly based on the comic book, but it was very loosely based. It was not. It was really nothing like the comic book. And the comic book was great. I mean, I just remember it being very, very violent and, kind of a little shocking for its time. I don't, now today you kind of see a lot of that stuff and it's, it's kind of normal now, but back in the day, Miller's stuff was pretty edgy, and a lot better. The last several things he's written, Hit Girl, I didn't care for. The second volume of Jupiter Legacy just didn't grab me. I just didn't like it. I thought it was pretty boring. Not quite the Mark Millar style I was accustomed to. And I'm not the only one that says that. There's a lot of people that review comic books that will definitely back that up. So this is an interesting article. It talks about that the numbers of his new book, The Magic Order, are maybe not as impressive as they're claiming. So I think on this first issue, they're claiming there was 140,000 sales or orders. I don't know if that's orders or sales, but there's the article here is saying, well, there was a convention and there was a deal where they bought 100,000 copies at a reduced rate, a very reduced rate. In fact, they paid 40 cents a copy against the book's $3.99 cover price. So I guess if you start going to these conventions and you start seeing free Magic Order #1s being given out, that will clue you in as to the inflating of the numbers. Yeah, you can say you sold 140,000 copies, but if you're giving away 100,000 of them, those aren't sales. Those are promotions. So, the article is claiming that's what's happened here. We'll see. Even if it was 40,000, pure 40,000 sales for an Image book, that's actually a pretty good number. Most of the comic books in Image are between 5 and 10,000. Maybe you get 20,000 on a brand new issue #1 comic that's come out, especially by maybe an established writer or a really good artist on the book. You'll see a spike in that issue #1. Not too bad on issue 2, but then a big fall off typically. With Image titles. They just don't have the power of a Marvel or a DC for having that higher monthly volume of purchases. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Comic Con comes out every month, and probably in July they'll have the June numbers. So, sometime in July, I guess we'll be able to verify, what was sold, what the real numbers are. We'll see if this article is correct or not. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really cared for Mark Millar stuff of recent, so I wouldn't be surprised if they had to do extra things to get some sales. He's just not, he's not a high-profile writer anymore like he used to be. And he probably doesn't care too much. He sold his company to Netflix, so he's a multimillionaire, and, he probably doesn't have to work as hard as he used to. He's probably not as hungry as he used to be. That sometimes happens. So we'll see. I like the artist on this, and I picked up issue #1, the Adam Hughes cover, because I like Adam Hughes' artwork. So, yeah, I'll try a first couple issues and see if I like it. I'm not real hopeful, because the last couple things I bought of Millar's was not very good. So we'll see. So I thought I'd highlight that. I know sometimes you got to kind of take these articles. This Rich Johnston, I've read his stuff before, and sometimes his articles end up being garbage where they're not true. So I just know that I'm not a big fan of Millar's recent work, and I'm kind of hoping that this changes that. That maybe this is a lot better story, and that it takes off, because I definitely like Mark Millar's early work, and I'd like to see him get back to it and do some really good work. So let me know what you guys think. If you wouldn't mind posting some comments, what you think of Mark Millar's recent stuff, or if you like some of his older stuff. Maybe you don't like him at all. Yeah, I'd like to hear comments from people. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the bells for notifications. And yeah, let's have a discussion on this. I love to read comments and reply to them, so love to hear what you guys think. All right, everybody. Talk to you soon.